Hey everyone, how are you today? Today I'm just going to quickly show you how to do sourdough starter. So you can use just flour and water, that's all you need to create a sourdough starter, and then you can make your sourdough bread. Okay, so I started my starter with buckwheat flour and water. So I did a 1/4 cup of buckwheat flour in a glass container. You can use a mason jar or any type of glass container like this. I mean, if you Google it, it tells you what containers are best, but this is what I used. Okay, it's a Pyrex glass container. So I started with the buckwheat flour and water, stirred it up, left it on the counter. The next day I fed it again. Now, when I was feeding it, I just used unbleached all-purpose flour. Okay, so you use the same amount of flour to water. So I fed it with just a tablespoon of flour and a tablespoon of water. Mix it up, let it sit. Then each day I just fed it with either 1 or 2 tablespoons of flour, 1 or 2 tablespoons of water. Mix it up, bubbles start to form, left it on the counter, let it grow, ferment. Then after a few days, then also you're going to discard some of the top. There's going to be like a liquidy, clear liquidy, and you just discard it. That'll be on the top. Now it might, if it develops mold, you'll have to throw it away, start over. Okay, so it's gonna smell. It's gonna have a scent, the sourdough scent. Like you'll be able to tell. If it smells really bad, you might also need to start over. Okay, so this is what it looks like. See, there's some bubbles in there. I fed it again today. I fed it with just 1 tablespoon of flour and 1 tablespoon of water. Mix it up. Now, I had it out on the counter for about a week, feeding it every day, checking it, discarding the top portion of it. You discard almost about half of it or so. I've made 1 loaf of sourdough bread out of this so far, maybe 2. And you know, my kids say, wow, it really tastes like sourdough. You could smell the sourdough scent. Okay. So anyway, so after this is on the counter for about a week or so, if you're not going to be using it constantly, feeding it constantly, you can put it in the fridge, which is what I did. So this is refrigerated. I've only used it once or twice, and I've only been feeding it with about a tablespoon of flour, a couple times, a 1/4 cup. But that's why there's not that much. Now, if I would give it more flour, there would be more. But this is all I have for now, because I didn't want to make so much because I didn't know how it was going to turn out, and I didn't want to waste the flour. So yeah, so you can really start with any flour. A lot of recipes I found online recommend using like a whole wheat flour or something like that, because just your first day, and then you can add the unbleached all-purpose flour as you go along. But you can also just start with unbleached all-purpose flour. I think unbleached all-purpose flour is the best flour to use. But start with whatever flour you want to use. So I started with the buckwheat, like I said. This is Anthony's organic buckwheat flour, and then I fed it with Bob's of Red Mill flour. Yeah, and then you'll just need flour and water, and a glass container. Okay, so that's it. So this is my sourdough starter. Now, when you're ready to make the bread, you take out, well, you can just look up recipes online, but you're just taking out about a 1/4 cup of your sourdough starter, and then you use your flour and your water, and you don't need yeast. Okay, so that's it. All right, so thank you for watching. If you like it, be sure to give me a thumbs up. Thank you. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and I'm going to make a sourdough loaf, and hopefully I can put a video up for that. But yeah, so if you have any questions or comments about sourdough, leave it in the comment section. All right, have a great day.